Ready to go, thanks.
Good morning, everybody. I'll call the Senate Standing Committee on Crime Victims, Crime and Corrections to order. Senator Pat Gallivan, joined by Senator Savino, Akshar, and Rivera. We also have voting sheets from sufficient members to constitute a quorum. First bill on our agenda is Senate Bill 982. It's sponsored by Senator Montgomery and amend the executive law, criminal procedure law, and penal law in relation to establishing substance abuse treatment alternatives for certain offenders. Motion to report. Any negative votes? That bill is referred to finance. Next, Senate Bill 1959, sponsored by Senator Lobach, an act to amend the correctional law in relation to requiring certain level 3 sex offenders to wear an electric monitoring device for life. Motion to report.
Have a negative vote from Senator Perkins and a without rec from Senator Montgomery.
Any other negative votes? Discussion? That bill is reported. Next on the agenda is Senate Bill 2981, sponsored by Senator Ward, that passed the Senate last year. It's an act to amend the correction law in relation to defining residents under the Sex Offender Registry Act. Motion to report.
Move the bill.
By Senator Savino. Negative votes?
Yep, Senator Perkins and Senator Montgomery.
Senator Perkins and Montgomery in the negative. That bill is reported. Next on the agenda is Senate Bill 3094, sponsored by Senator Mershon, that passed the Senate unanimously last year. It's an act to amend the executive law in relation to an ignition interlock device. Motion to report by Senator Akshar.
Yep.
Negative votes? That bill is referred to finance. Next on the agenda, Senate Bill 3622, sponsored by Senator Ward. This bill also passed the Senate last year. It's an act to amend the correction law in relation to the employment address of sex offenders. Motion to report. Senator Akshar.
We've got negative votes from Senator Perkins, without rec from Senator Montgomery, Senator
Senator Perkins in the negative.
me,
Senator
and
Montgomery without rec. Senator Rivera without rec. Do I understand
that's
that right?
correct, and 3622. and a nay from Senator Hassel Thompson.
Senator Hassel Thompson in the negative. That bill is reported. Next on the agenda, another bill sponsored by Senator Ward that passed the Senate last year. It is Senate Bill 3627, an act to amend the correction law, the executive law, and the penal law in relation to prohibiting sex offenders from living within a quarter mile of any school, park, playground, or building in which child daycare is provided. Motion to report.
Question?
Senator Savino. Question. Senator.
If I'm not mistaken, this does not have distinction by levels, is that correct?
That is my understanding, Council. Is that correct? This is all sex offenders.
Even level 1?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just make the point on this one because there's a couple of them that have the same issue as I've consistently raised. If the distinction does not exist, in certain cases I believe it's warranted. This one I do not. It will be a negative from me, as well as Senator Perkins, Senator Montgomery, and Senator Hassel Thompson.
Senator Rivera, Perkins, Hassel Thompson, the negative. Is that accurate? It does apply to all sex offenders. All right, that bill is reported to finance. Next on the agenda, Senate Bill 4765 is sponsored by Senator Funky. This also passed the Senate last year. An act to amend the correction law in relation to notice to sex offenders of their determination hearing and the penalty for violations by sex offenders. Motion to report.
Move the bill.
Senator Akshar.
Negative from Senator Perkins, Senator Montgomery,
Senator Perkins, Senator Montgomery.
Me.
Negative. Senator Rivera, negative vote.
and Hassel Thompson voted for it.
Senator Hassel Thompson will vote in the affirmative. That bill is reported. Next on the agenda, another bill by Senator Funky that passed the Senate unanimously last year, Senate Bill 4776A, an to amend the correction law in relation to the registration of sex offenders. Motion to be reported.
Move the bill.
Senator Savino.
Have a negative from Senator Perkins, and this is a 4776, correct?
Correct.
Negative from Senator Perkins without rank from me.
Senator Rivera without correct. Senator Perkins in the negative. Sorry, Senator Savino.
In spite of it having passed unanimously last year.
That bill is reported. Senate Bill 4890 is next on the agenda, sponsored by Senator Lowell. It did pass the Senate as well last year. An act to amend the executive law and penal law in relation to the requirement for certain sex offenders who are on probation or parole or conditionally released to reside certain distances from school environments. Motion to report
Move the bill.
by Senator Savino. Negative votes.
Negative votes from Senator Perkins and Montgomery.
Senator Perkins and Montgomery in the negative. That bill is reported. Senate Bill 4953, sponsored by Senator Bendito. It's a new bill. It's an act to amend the correction law in relation to the failure to register or verify under the Sex Offender Registration Act or a violation of the prohibition of sex offenders working on motor vehicles engaged in retail sales of frozen desserts. Motion to read.
Move the bill. Isn't it already, don't we already have a restriction on people who are on the sex offender registry from having a license to operate
They do. This increases the penalty.
for, increases the penalty for operating a frozen?
No, it raises,
On an ice cream truck. Or
Yeah.
working on an ice
so currently it's currently I believe it's a Class C felony, and this raises it to a D felony
Currently,
in certain
the violation
circumstances.
of the Sex Offender Registration Act, the first offense is a Class E felony,
Mhm.
the second offense is a D, and violating the provision of working on a ice cream truck is a Class A misdemeanor. This makes all the violations a D for the first offense.
Just don't know how you get the license to begin with if you're not allowed to have
Well,
it.
you can work on it without a license, I think.
You can
There's
just,
a distinction.
But
The owner gets the license and then hires somebody. Not that they're supposed to,
You
but.
can't legally work on it, but
Right.
if you're an employee,
Would
you're not
the,
a licensed holder.
would it not be the responsibility of the owner of the license to verify that his employees are not on the sex offender registry since the restriction is on his business?
that's possible, but I'm guessing that a lot of those checks are not done. I guess they could go online and check to see if it's on the registry.
Somebody ought to pass a law.
When someone is on the sex offender registry, are they given a list of what they are allowed and not allowed to do? Because I know, like, we pretty much say you can't have a real estate license, you can't sell ice cream, you know, are they aware of what jobs they are not allowed to apply for?
I don't know that for sure. I would suspect not.
Presumably, if
See,
they're
that-
on probation or parole, they may get some instructions from this person.
Parole, probation.
I think we should, I'm going to vote with that rec on this bill right now because I want to find that out. Because it's, you know, it's hard enough being reintegrated into society. If you don't know that you're not allowed to apply for this job and you're trying to get a job so you can get back into society and you inadvertently commit a felony, a D felony, just by applying for a job, without knowing it because no one told you that you're not supposed to work on an ice cream truck, I think we should make sure that they're at least aware of that information. They should be given a list of, these are all the things you're not allowed to apply for because you're not allowed to work in proximity with potential victims. And again, not everybody is a pedophile.
Mhm.
It's a sex offender. So I'm going to read the bill. So I'm going to go with that rec. Let me read it and then I will.
Senator Savino without
I
rec.
got a couple of names, Senator Perkins, Senator Montgomery, Senator Hassel Thompson, and myself in negative.
Yeah. Tell me again, please. Senator
Perkins.
Rivera, Senator Hassel Thompson.
Perkins, Montgomery, Hassel Thompson, and negative.
That bill is reported. Next bill is sponsored by Senator Golden, passed the Senate last year, Senate Bill 5008. Will be referred to finance if it passes. It's an act to amend the correction law, executive law, and mental hygiene law, penal law, and the social services law, in in relation to the residents of the sex offender. Motion to report, Senator Sabino.
A couple of negative votes, Perkins, Montgomery, and myself.
Senator Rivera, Perkins, and Montgomery in the negative. That bill is referred to finance. Senate Bill 5427, sponsored by Senator Rivera, is next on the agenda. It is a new bill, an act to amend the correctional law in relation to the notification of death of inmates to next of kin. Motion to report. Senator Rivera.
Yes.
Comments by Senator Rivera?
And I'll also point out that it is an amended version. There's a memo that I sent to all the members of the committee. It's an amended version based on an accurate concern from the New York State Sheriff's Association that would impact their facilities. This actually makes a specific source on the state facilities.
So it only affects the state facilities.
Yep. And I obviously,
You already got in the council?
The amendments on line 11, it inserted the term correctional facilities and state correctional facilities.
Yes. Any negative votes? That bill is reported. Next bill on the agenda is Senate Bill 6066, sponsored by Senator Ditto. It is a new bill, an act to amend the correctional law in relation to sex offender registration and residency restrictions. Motion to report.
Move the bill.
Senator Sabino.
Lots of negatives. You got Perkins, Montgomery, Hazel Thompson, myself, and Peralta was without rank.
Who's without rank?
Peralta. Jose Peralta.
You got it? Yeah.
Peralta. How about that?
Gotcha. Well, it took a little bit to understand your accent.
My padre. I would never not to do that in the future.
Okay, that bill is reported. Next is Senate Bill 6351, another new bill sponsored by Senator Murphy, an act to amend the correctional law in relation to requiring level 1 sex offenders to register for 30 years.
I'm without record. Move bill, but I'm without record.
Senator Sabino makes a motion to report. Senator Sabino without record.
Negative from Senator Perkins, Senator Montgomery, Senator Hazel Thompson, myself, and Senator Peralta. Is without rank.
Senator Peralta, Rivera,
No, Peralta
Montgomery, Perkins, and
Peralta's without rank.
Peralta without record. The others.
Perkins, Montgomery, Hazel Thompson, and myself, yes.
These phones are going to create more level 1 sex offenders out of stupid teenagers than anything. The idea of them being on a sex offender registry for 30 years is something we really should think about.
Yeah. Agreed.
You can talk to these kids all you want. They don't seem to think there's anything wrong with taking pictures of them in their underwear and sharing it with their boyfriends.
But
And posting it on Facebook.
But as opposed to the registry, perhaps the laws related to that should be examined.
Perhaps, but, we wrote the laws in a particular way. If you're underage and you have a photo of a 15-year-old girl, that is child pornography. We really need to think about this. We can't, we all see teenagers, they do this, and they never take these things seriously, and then they're going to wind up on the registry for 30 years. Something stupid and juvenile, and they just don't think twice. So I just think we really need to be very careful about some of the reactions that we have.
Point noted, that bill is removed. Next on the agenda is Senate Bill 6689, sponsored by Senator Salino, an act to amend the correction law in relation to requiring sex offenders to verify their registration in the sex offender registry on a biannual basis. Motion to report.
Move the bill.
By Senator Salino, negative votes.
Senator Perkins, Montgomery, Hazel Thompson, and myself.
Senator Rivera, Perkins, Hassel, Thompson, and Montgomery in the negative. That bill is reported to finance. Next on the agenda, Senate Bill 7224, sponsored by Senator Murphy, another new bill, an act to amend the executive law in relation to statements made to the State Board of Parole by the victim of a crime. Motion to report. By Senator Rivera, negative votes.
Senator Perkins and Senator Hazel Thompson, and then without rec, Senator Montgomery and Senator Peralta.
Peralta and Senators Peralta and Montgomery without rec. Senator Hassel, Thompson, and Perkins, negative. That bill is reported to finance. And the final bill on the agenda is another new bill sponsored by Senator Port, Senate Bill 7469, an act to amend the correction law in relation to authorizing the Orleans County Correctional Facility to also be used for the detention of persons under arrest and lawful arraignment in any court located in the county of Orleans. We have done several similar bills for other counties this year, and I think it takes this up to perhaps maybe 19 or 20 now.
This would be 19.
19. Motion to report?
No.
Senator Savino, negative votes.
Without rep from Senator Perkins and Senator Pearl.
Senator Walton, Perkins without rep. That bill is reported. Motion to adjourn. Mr. Hackstead.
Yes, make a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Thanks, everybody.
Someone that-
Here it is.